Good evening, barflies and lounge lizards, and welcome to Late Night Video. And tonight we'll be discussing Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity from 1987. Written, produced, and directed by Ken Dixon, who I'm sure you all know best from the erotic adventures of Robinson Crusoe, Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity is a light-hearted, sleazerific sci-fi take on The Most Dangerous Game by Richard Connell. Though I have it on good authority that it was actually based on an early draft of Return of the Jedi. It makes sense, if you don't think about it. But Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity tells the story of two scantily clad, almost cave girl-esque fugitives who escape from a prison colony in space. Unfortunately, their escape ship malfunctions and they crash land on a seemingly uninhabited planet. Turns out, not so uninhabited, it's the home of the charismatic Zed, who invites the young fugitives over for a fancy dinner. Things take a less than copacetic turn when the ladies find out that Zed actually wants to hunt them for sport. Which I guess is better than hunting them for food. Director Ken Dixon doesn't have a whole lot to his name. He mainly directed compilation films like Zombathon and famous TNA. But you know, I used to dig stuff like that back in the day. I can't count how many times I watched the John Saxon hosted Deadliest Art from 1990. That was pretty much my guidebook for martial arts films from then on. The film stars Elizabeth Kai Tan, whose last name I probably mispronounced. But what would an episode of the Snack Bar be without the pronunciation police coming after me? But Kai Tan has a rather spiffy film resume with appearances in Dr. Alien, Twins, and Assault of the Killer Bimbos. But she is probably best known for the later Vice Academy films, kinda taking over Linnea's role. Then we have Cindy Beale as our other fugitive gal from Beyond. Beale only has 3 credits to her name: this film, the highly underrated 80s comedy My Chauffeur, and voice work on 5 episodes of Dragon Ball GT. But I'm unsure about the Dragon Ball GT credit. Upon further research, it looks like it may have been a different Cindy Beale. Next up is Dawn Scribner as the Lady Hunter. Scribner is a musician and actor with appearances in Outlaw Force, Future Force, and some voiceover work in World of Warcraft. And finally, as another party guest for Zed, we have aspiring marine biologist turned Scream Queen legend Brink Stevens. I'm sure you all know Miss Stevens from numerous B-movie classics like Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bolorama and Nightmare Sisters. And if you don't, well, you have some much needed homework to do. Go ahead, I'll wait. The effects in this one are charmingly low budget and everything you would hope for, including really spiffy robots to an alien mutant. There's also boobs. And this is another with many credited for the effects. But most important of all, we have the great John Carl Buechler of Troll, Dungeon Master, and Cellar Dweller fame. It's getting where I bring up Buechler as much as Bob Burns or Hua Chang. But he's credited here for creature designer, special effects designer, and special effects modeler. Heck, his name is even in the opening credits, as it should be. The film was financed by Charles Band of Empire and Full Moon Features, supposedly at just $110,000. It took about 4 weeks to film, and everything, with the exception of the beach scenes, were shot on sets. For a low-budget film, it did exceptionally well, especially overseas. It was a gigantic hit relative to its budget, according to co-producer Mark Wolf. Folks knew quality back then. Now, something really interesting about this one. According to the AFI catalog, originally adult film star Ginger Lynn was cast as the lead of the film. She even began working, but after 3 days of work, she was let go, supposedly because Dixon felt that none of her scenes were worth using. It was then that Kai Tan was brought in. AFI gave no source where this information came from, so I couldn't verify it. But it does sound a bit odd to me, for Ginger Lynn did a fine job in the Vice Academy films. Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity has a rare distinction and claim to fame, having been singled out by a North Carolina senator as to why cable networks should block indecent programming unless requested in writing by the customer. Wonder if that's what's happened to the snack bar. But supposedly a mother and her young daughter from the senator's jurisdiction stumbled across Slave Girls on TV and were, and I quote, assaulted by scenes from the movie. Luckily, the senator's pearl-clutching nonsense was struck down by both the federal court and a group of scantily clad robots. The film score was composed by Carl Dante, who also worked on Cellar Dweller, The Creeps, and another underrated 80s comedy, Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. Nope, nothing wacky about it.
Zed says the jungle's just full of danger. I'd feel a whole lot safer with a big, strong android like you along to protect me.
Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity has been released on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and Laserdisc. And I give this one 4 space bikinis out of 5. It's a fun, sleazy little sci-fi picture with some spiffy looking robots. What else do you need? And that's all the time we have for this week. But before I go, I wanted to ask Mr. Robot what he thought of the episode, and in particular, my personality.
You displease me, and I ignore you.
That's fair. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch the skies, and keep it sleazy.
Hi, this is Rock and Roll Ray, host of Dead Baron Radio over on the Monstersville channel. Yeah, join me on Monstersville, where you can meet Frankenstein cops, outlaw wolfmen, and intern zombies, all here in the Tower of Vor and in the town of Monstersville itself.
Lame.
What?
Those aren't real monsters. Know what I mean?
Oh, like that real monster right behind you, Dan S. Puppet?
Real enough for me, dude.
I take it back. I take it back. No. Join me in Monstersville. Tell them Mr. Sterling sent you.
First, you said, hello, sexy legs.
Hello, sexy legs.
Now, say, hello, sexy necks.
Hello, sexy legs.
You mean hello, sexy necks.
Sexy legs pantyhose, now sexy necks. Top fashion knickers at supermarket prices.
Hello, sexy legs.
You mean hello, sexy necks.
Miss, what did you hear when you dialed 1-900-909-1212? Call 1-900-909-1212 and find out why people are laughing. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. Did you ask your parents before you dialed? Did you call Laugh Line? And what's that number?
1-900-909-1212.